Hey, this is PJ. I'm finally here to talk about my projects. It's been a little bit, but I finally got things together enough just to talk about them. But we're in a parking lot today, just a random parking lot that we found on the street because our original location that we were going to use shot. So now I'm here with my projects, and these are the projects that I daily drive. So without further ado, I'll talk about them now. Wow, that's a lot of water, dude. So first, this is my 2011 Audi S4. I absolutely love this car. I adore this car because this thing I've worked on with the customer on and off, at least while he had money to make repairs, for 8 years. So after 8 years of having the car, I told the customer if he ever feels like getting rid of it, give me first right of refusal. And he did. Now, it had a lot of problems. I had a lot of oil leaks, but I definitely wanted this car. So now I acquired it. I ended up getting the car for $4,000. At the time, COVID prices were still in effect. So to find a car like this for that price back then was nearly impossible. I got it for a steal. Unfortunately, now I would say that it's probably worth only $4,000, maybe even less. But I don't care because I love it and I want to rebuild it. The problem is time, just like everything else in my eyes here. So that's that one. This is my 2011 Audi Q5. I got this car for $500 now, and it was sort of running. I want to tell you all the things that went wrong with it or have been wrong with it before I acquired it. But when I got it, and I'll show you a picture, it was on a flat tire. It didn't go into gear. The brakes were locked and the parking brake was in-op. But now I've got it to the point where it's on the road and it's ready to go. Now, you got to excuse me because I did a Ride for Cancer at Dolphin Stadium today. We are in South Florida, and every year they have the Dolphins Cancer Challenge ride. I did that this morning. Pictures up. But I tell you what, I didn't have time to take my bike off the roof. My helmet's over there, back by my crew. I'm just trying to get this done today for you guys so you can at least see what I'm dealing with. This is a work in process. These are works in process. But I tell you what, I'm going to get it going, and I promise you guys I'll make great content. Now, the front of this car needs a lot of help. I haven't had time to do any of it yet, so it's a work in process. Headlights. Let me tell you something about these headlights. These headlights are the worst fogged headlights I have ever seen. It's both of them, but this side is the worst. So what I'm thinking about doing is actually doing a video where I show you how I replace just the lenses, because Audi, even my price, wants about $1,500 to $2,000 per light. So I'm not going to do that because the lights itself function perfectly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this glass off, or this plastic, I should say. If it was glass, it wouldn't have did this like older European cars. But I'm going to get this plastic off, replace it with a new one. It's probably going to be from China, but we're not concerned about that. The grill, this grill is sad. I'm going to have to do something about this grill because the previous owner actually painted it black. I did what I could to take off a lot of the paint, but obviously it needs to be replaced. It's looking horrendous, actually. But you know what? It doesn't change how much I love the car. Coming around to the interior of the car, this is a Premium Plus model. Come on in here.
Now, the interior of this car is in near perfect shape, especially considering the mileage. It is a Premium Plus, as I said, so it does have factory nav, but I added Apple CarPlay to it anyway. I added a B8.5 steering wheel just because I like the flat bottom. The car has Alcantara interior inserts, and the leather is wearing on the driver's side bolster, but I don't care about that. I'll fix that at a later date. And going around the back of the car, it has the same treatment with the seats, but you eagle-eyed viewers might notice that I don't have a back seat, and the carpet is a little lifted up on the driver's side. Now, I have a good reason for that. See, my girlfriend, she's telling me that my seat's not adjusting when she was going to take it to get detailed. Unfortunately, I've seen this before, and I knew exactly what the problem was.
All right, let me see this camera so I can show you guys. So what I did was I pulled the carpet up, and there's still quite a bit of water that needs to come out. But as you can see, the body plug, I kind of burrowed my way under the insulation to get access to this plastic body plug and kind of pull it out of the way. Let me see if I could get in there so you can see. And then push that out of the way because I just want the water out of this car. And now she's draining pretty fast. Oh, it's like a toilet flushing. But we had some really, really bad rain here, and I have not driven this car in about a week. So like, dude, I got like maybe 2 days of solid rain here. And we got a bunch of water leaks over at my Audi shop too, but let's go under the car. You can see I made the hole bigger than what was, and as you can see, we're getting dry again. Look, it's all the way down to the front too. Wow, that's a lot of water, dude. Oh my God. Wow. Well, I don't leave the car too long, so it doesn't stink in there. You wouldn't even have been able to tell. It was only, I was gonna send my girlfriend to go get the car washed. So while I got the camera equipment ready, and she said, hey babe, the seat doesn't move. So I'm like, wait, that's not, my seat moves. And I know I don't have a seat module in the car. And look at my pants. Look at my pants. My pants are done. Hey bud, how's it going? Anyway, look at my pants. My pants are a mess. But yeah, so you know what? We're gonna keep the dirty pants. We're gonna make the rest of this video with dirty pants. So that was a whole lot of water. So I'm assuming that it's going to be a mess up here too. The parking space the car was in, where my girlfriend's Tiguan is at a bit of an angle. So I'm not really concerned about it being too chaotic up here, but that was a lot of water. And I can tell the carpet's damp under there as well. So, I mean, I'm having problems getting the weather tech out with one hand. So I'll do that off camera to get that going. But look at this water, dude. It's completely dry in this lot. But look at what my car is doing. That was all in my car. So anyway, that's what happens when you drive old Audis. It doesn't usually get any better than that.
But the engine on this car is tip-top. Everything works, compression ratios are good, there is no check engine light on the car and never was. I have a little custom intake that I made because the original plastic one broke. I just did that for temporary, but I have an APR heat shield, my R8 oil cap and R8 coolant cap. I do need to do some cleaning in the engine bay, but it's all there. The rest of the car is free of any dents or dings. The body lines are mostly straight. Their car has a clean Carfax, nothing to report. I have H&R springs on it. I have ESR 19-inch wheels. They're 19-inch by 9 with 255/40 19 Bridgestone tires. Everything is sound with the car. It drives and it handles really well. Let's go for a drive with it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Just to give you an idea of what it's like driving these things. Now, hopefully it won't be a shaky cam, but these cars mean something to me because when I started with the brand, these cars were the types of cars that were new on the Audi sales floor. And I thought, you know, maybe if I'm lucky, one day I'll be able to own at least one of those. I really had a love for the B8 S4. Since I've seen it, I've wanted it. I've driven them and worked on them pretty much my entire career. And I've always loved the engine. The 3-liter supercharged engine has always been a treat to drive. To me, it balanced a good engine sound, a nice supercharger whine, and something different than what you would normally see in a European sports sedan. Most European sports sedans of the time were either all motor or, you know, they had started making the switch to turbos. So to have a car that was supercharged, and now just do a little quick acceleration onto the highway. This car is completely stock, and I don't want to get over the legal speed limit here, but this car is completely stock. I have put an 034 Motorsports mid-pipe in and took out the center resonator, and I have a bit of a custom intake. The intake was put on more of necessity because the stock intake plastic pipe was broken. So I was kind of at a sticking point after I initially got the car and very small budget, so I decided to kind of build an intake for it for temporary until I could get something nice in the car. Again, both my cars, are built on a budget, and they constantly need little things. They're going to constantly need little things. This one is sitting at 142,000 miles on the clock. Unfortunately, I don't have my seat in the correct position, and the seat doesn't work right now. I know exactly what's wrong with it, since the water was found in the back and I have no back seat right now. Water has corroded the connectors, and the main power wire to all the seat electronics is corroded, so there's just no power going to the seat at all. Fortunately though, there's no airbag light on, there's no seatbelt light, none of the other connectors seem to be affected, at least at this time. Now in the future, that might change. The one thing that can be a problem with this car is that everybody wants to race you. And if anybody who knows me knows I have a rap sheet for getting into scuffles on the road, then that's not really what I'm looking to do with this car. That's kind of why I'm also hesitating on making it faster. Well, that and the fact that it does need some love. I want to get the oil leaks taken care of. Thankfully, there's no oil leaking from the bottom end of the car, so my oil pan is okay, my lower timing cover is okay, which would be an absolute bear to deal with, just because the timing chain on this vehicle is on this engine is on the back. So give it some time. I'll put together some projects with these things, and I'll make some content with them, and as I put them back together. If anything, to me, it's a motivation, because after working 55, 60 hours a week, every week at the dealer, it can be kind of annoying. Do another acceleration pull, because it's always a treat to do that with this car. The only thing that really is a drawback about it is the gas mileage is hilarious, especially even compared to the 4-cylinder engine in the Q5. But it's part of the fun of owning this kind of car.
For all its faults, I still love this car. I enjoy driving it any chance that I get, and I do have a lot of plans in the future for it. It probably is going to get a manual swap in the future, especially if the transmission gives me any other issues, and I will start to add power to it with you guys watching, and as I fix the problems as they come up. But let's finish with a launch control. Now for a shameless drone shot. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to upload the Q5 very soon, so keep an eye out for it right after I figure out some more editing. Thanks guys for watching.